We all find ourselves trapped in a glass box, surrounded by barriers and obstacles. We can see what we want the outcome to be on the other side, and in most cases, we know exactly what we need to do to get there, but we fear breaking the glass because we fear the mess it's going to make. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, it's messy getting out of the box. Well, welcome to Shadow the Glass Podcast. I'm your host, Steffany Rossi. Hey, I'm Steffany Rossi, and this is Shadow the Glass Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about how far gone my boundaries were. So let me set the scene of I was in a transition period onto my next journey and still helping out at the previous company. And my friend and I flew out to Denver to get her car to drive back to Georgia. And neither of us apparently looked at the weather, and we ended up getting into a car accident, and we totaled the car. And during that car accident, my phone flew out the sunroof, and I lost it because I was really smart and had a glitter phone case that was white and lost it in the snow. After knowing that we were okay, my first feeling or reaction was stress and anxiety that I didn't have a way to let them know that I couldn't be reached, that I didn't have my phone, that I was terrified someone was trying to reach out to me. My first reaction wasn't to call my parents, my husband. My first reaction was to call someone that I didn't work for anymore. And this is my big light bulb aha moment of where the heck were my boundaries? Where were my priorities? And I allowed that to happen. Like, no one's going to set a boundary for us. And anyone is going to do what they can get away with, right? Like, that's human nature. They're going to do whatever they can, and until you say no, they're going to keep doing it. And we have to set our boundaries, and if we don't, this is what happens. I think that's a little extreme of a story to kind of really get that across, but it's what happened. And as soon as I did get the Wi-Fi, I did reach out, and one of the first questions I got was, can you send a picture of the car? And personally, I don't have a picture of the car, nor do I want to see a picture of the car because I don't want to experience that feeling again. And I didn't know what I was going to do from there, but I knew that I didn't want it to happen again. I didn't want to let myself not have boundaries going forward. And I've never had boundaries in the workplace. Even working in retail sales, I would always cover a coworker's shift. I would work late. I would skip lunch. Whatever we needed in the store, I did, because that's what I was supposed to do. And I never set the boundary of, no, I'm taking a lunch. No, I can't cover your shift. Sorry. All I knew how to do, to start with, is phone notifications, because I think that's where, it's so quick. As soon as our phone lights up, we look at it. And it's one of those things, like, if someone's trying to reach out to me, I'm just going to answer it, right? Like, why would I not? So first, I only allowed my email notifications to go off during work hours between 9 and 5. And that was a big adjustment for me, because I used to look at every email that came through at any time that I was awake. And to be honest, I probably checked my email in my sleep if I woke up in the middle of the night too. And then the next, I didn't allow text notifications to show up on my lock screen after 5. And I was able to be intentional about my time on my phone. And again, it's as soon as it lights up, right? I want to go to it. And we don't have to. We just don't have to. We don't owe anyone our time other than ourselves. And everyone expects my time. Everyone expects your time. Everyone expects time from other people, but it's earned. It's not just given. And I do respond after 5, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do wait until the next day because it's not an urgent matter, and I want to spend time at home and not working. And then lastly, my phone goes into bedtime mode at 8 p.m. and it is on Do Not Disturb, so no calls come through, no texts come through, nothing. There's no little notifications on the top of my phone. There's no 4 messages. I can't see it. I can't see it because if I see it, I want to look at it. So from 5 to 8, the messages come through, and then at 8 it goes off. Now, if I go into my messages, they're all there. They don't just not go through. And if someone really needs to call you, they can double call you. If you double call someone that's in Do Not Disturb, it will go through. You can create your own focus modes on iPhone, I'm sure, and if anyone has Androids, I'm sure they have those too. But that was like the biggest thing, was controlling the notifications in my life. And it freed up so much of my time. And that was like the biggest thing that I was missing from going to work, from working like 12 plus hours a day, from now only having like email notifications from 9 to 5 is a really big difference. And that's, that really allowed me to start this journey of like feeling at peace. This is just the first phase, because there's a lot of different phases to get to this harmony and peace feeling. But setting the boundaries with my phone notifications was step one. And, throughout this podcast, we're going to talk more about all the different, modalities of setting boundaries and honoring those boundaries. And I can't wait to talk more about that. So that's just a little about my experience of how not having those healthy boundaries I created an unhealthy environment for myself, and how I got out of that, and now am at a place of peace and harmony. And if any of this resonates with you, please follow us on social media and subscribe to all of our streaming channels. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on next week's episode.